We're trying something new at AI Glitch. We're going to run down some of the top stories from AI from the past week. Try to do this in under 15, 20 minutes so you can catch up on all the news. Obviously, there was a lot of things that happened this week. One of the biggest ones is Elon Musk is suing Sam Altman and Gregory Brockman, including all of the OpenAI subsidiaries and shell companies. And if you look into this just on the surface, it just seems like kind of a personal battle. They've been going back and forth on Twitter. We won't jump into all of those, but this is an actual copy of the lawsuit. I'm going to put all of the links below in our video description so you can go and find any of these that you want. But the thing that's important to know with that is that it's not just OpenAI. You can see here that Elon Musk, right? This goes back to the beginning when he invested in OpenAI, ChatGPT, some of those earlier beginning things. And he is basically stating that he is frustrated that it was going to be basically a non-profit open source ethos. And so now what they're doing though is OpenAI is they are looking for commercial partnerships, notably Microsoft, regarding early versions of the AGI and technology like GTP4 or GPT-4. Anyway, so Musk also further claims that this is the departure from their nonprofit mission, which is what he originally invested in, millions of dollars and substantial resources, and he's frustrated and he believes that it's a breach of promises made to him. And so he believes that it's a breach of fiduciary duty. It goes through. But the fascinating thing about this is you look at all of the companies that Elon Musk put in that. This is in the state of California. Is all of the different subsidiaries or other quote unquote shell companies that OpenAI has created to move all of these business structures and financing through. And ultimately, what Musk is saying is that they're engaging in unfair business practices. And they're also soliciting donations under false pretenses, using them for purposes other than they were originally intended. You can go on and you can read this whole lawsuit. Again, I am not an attorney. This is not legal advice for anybody. This is just news that we felt was important. We did not do a video on this week, but this is something that came out here. You can see all the information here from that document here. So on the flip side, you also have the New York Times. This was the 29th, I believe, so this is 27th, is OpenAI says that New York Times hacked GPT to build copyright lawsuit, which is interesting. So this is a counter lawsuit from the New York Times, which originally was suing OpenAI and some of those other companies for using the New York Times to build some of their models. Now, this is a countersuit from OpenAI saying that New York Times hacked into GPT to go through. Anyway, so you can go through again. We will leave this article linked below. I'm going to try and link all of these so you can see this is from Reuters.com, and so you can get that information there. So we're going to go to Microsoft, right? So now Microsoft announces that Copilot for finances to enhance financial operations, whether that is in 365 or SAP. You can go through and read the article, but essentially what this would do is it would quickly help variance analysis in Excel using natural language prompts. And so they've been kind of piloting this for some of their products and what their use cases are and what that looks like. And they've been able to take basically 2 hours worth of work and cut it down to 20 minutes, saving them, about an hour and 40 minutes in work time. And so what this will basically be integrated into is a lot of the tools that Microsoft uses. Again, specifically, this is Outlook, Excel, Dynamics 365, SAP, and Excel. So that was Microsoft. Let's see. We've got a big one from Intel here. Let me just slide these over in order. So Intel also sees an opportunity for standalone programmable chip unit. And the big deal about this one is that this would be a chip that stands alone so that multiple companies can use it. And essentially what they are trying to rival against, right, is chips made by NVIDIA, or other companies that are overseas. And the reason they want to do this is because then they can actually just outsource the chip directly to the companies, and the companies can put whatever they want on the chip. They're not actually doing a lot of the beginning. So I'm not going to go into the details about this, but it is big news because there are multiple companies now that are recognizing NVIDIA and AMD's stronghold on the chip marketplace. And we'll talk a little bit more about that when we talk about Meta, which is coming up in a few seconds. But the idea is that companies are starting to make their own chips because they can basically remove the competition and sell them and make them for their own costs instead of buying them from other companies. So there's that. Let's see. We've got two here from Meta, and we'll put these in order. So the first one is Mark Zuckerberg woos big tech in Asia to double down on AI chips. So he met with the South Korean president, Yoon Suk Yeol, and he wants to basically get some sort of partnership with Samsung Electronics for AI chips. There's also problems with TSMC where the chips are, a rival company. And so there's this idea that they want to start putting in chips into some of their products, specifically some of their AI products that are coming out and or have already come out, and updating some of those. Um, the one that they're looking at, as you scroll down here, has been working on its own in-house chip, Artemis, for its data centers. That's a pretty big deal. Like I said in the previous comment about Intel, is that a lot of these companies are recognizing that they need specific things for their own chips. And so they want to start making their own chips. And when I'm talking about making their own chips, not necessarily the hardware, but the tech that's put in the chip and what that chip does, and how it can be future updated, and how long the lifespan of updates are, and different things like that. So the other thing with Meta, and we're in an election year, is that Meta is now killing Facebook News in the United States, Australia, and Australia. They've already done this in the UK, France, and Germany. And I think part of this goes back to the Analytica Britannica from a few years ago, or the Cambridge Analytica from a few years ago, and just the massive amount of false information that's being put on Facebook. As much as they try and kind of push all that down, a lot of the AI tools now are posting articles, pictures, images, videos, a lot of different things like that. And so they are going to retire the news tab. I think there will still be news on Meta/Facebook, but the idea of squashing a dedicated tab, so now that it'll just show through in your pipeline and go for there. I want to make sure that there's not any other major company news. The rest will be kind of smaller news, but one of the big things about the big companies is that we learned this week is that they are all of them are trying to create their own chip in a particular way that it benefits them, makes them more money. They also have a proprietary chip that they can use to move things forward. So a couple things that we saw also from Adobe. This is basically called Project Music Gen AI. Essentially, it's like Photoshop, but for music. So anybody without any musical abilities or talents will be able to now create music from scratch. There's this video here. I'll put the link below that you can watch. We're not going to watch the whole thing. I wanted to jump to a specific portion here. And we're having music made from just a prompt. And hopefully we can pick up this audio. So this is obviously this YouTube video is put out by Adobe. This is obviously a plain thing, right? But the idea that AI will be able to create music, and one of the things that was beautiful with Adobe, right, and their Firefly, is that they had all of these images in their database to pull from. It's the same with music, is they're going to be able to pull a lot of their database from their music. So that was a big announcement from Adobe, which is Project Music AI. Again, we'll put the link down there. The next one that we have is Venus Williams, right? She's a 9-time Grand Slam tennis winner. She has put her interior design skills on on an AI powered platform called Palazzo. And essentially, what it allows you to do is it allows you to create interior design sets or rooms based on specific prompts and options within the platform called Palazzo. So the idea is that they're going to eventually create an app for iOS and Android in the near future. And you'll be able to change the colors, the feel of different things. And so if you're any kind of design space with your interior design, this is one of the ways that celebrities and sports athletes are basically jumping in. So she's had her own company for a long time, and this is something that she has been working on, is passionate about. And here's an example here. This is all AI generated, obviously this space. And you can see, right, and down here, you've got image credits from Palazzo. So again, it'll be a credit-based system like most of the AI models that we're using, is you have to pay for them because we know how expensive they are. So you'll have to pay for these $5 starts for 20 credits. I don't know how much 20 credits get you. I have not logged on, but there's a lot of different tools that this could be used in. This could be used in the education space, obviously the design space, the home building space, the construction space. So when we have somebody that says, oh, I want a room that looks like this, you take this idea to a designer or a construction company or an architect, and they basically build this idea that you have from scratch and make it a reality. So one of those cool tools there. The other big thing from Wikipedia that came out this week, as you may have already heard, is that CNET, which is owned by Red Ventures, has been using AI to write articles that are have errors and have also basically been plagiarizing other work. Well, one of the problems with that is that Wikipedia previously had used CNET as a source for some of its articles and information on the wiki pages. And so because of the aftermath of the AI scandal that happened with CNET, and we're going to see more of these, by the way, but basically Wikipedia said we are no longer pulling information or using CNET as a primary source for our wiki pages or wiki information, biography pages, or whatever the types of pages that you're looking at on wiki. So that's a big deal. So now we're going to jump into some tools that came out this week that are pretty cool. Some of them duplicate things that have already been done. Others of them are, maybe upgrades to versions of apps or prompts or different things that we've had from there. So one of the first ones that I like, I actually use a product on this channel, as you may have seen if you've watched some of our shorts, is we use a product called Opus Clip, where we take a long video and turn it into a short video. There's a new program called Slick here. You can see the pricing here. I am not getting any referral bonus or anything like that for this. This is just a tool that came out. So you can upload one video a month, one team member. You also have a watermark here. And the cool thing about this is you can also format it to 16:9 or 1:1. So you can pop it on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, whatever you want. And the idea is that you're basically taking a long form content and creating it into short form content. They have trendy captions. Obviously, you see Mr. Beast there, Hormozy 1, Hormozy 2, Cyberpunk, a lot of different things there. And you can trim these. Here's some examples here. We're not going to play these, but you can see that it comes with the closed caption here where you can post them. So shorts, YouTube videos, different things like that. So that's one tool there. The next tool, this is by Alibaba, which is a massive production, shipping, basically consumer company. Is you have a reference image, you give it some text or video or audio. And in this example, this is our reference image here. The reference song is Rap God by Eminem. So I'm assuming I'm going to get some sort of copyright warning for this, but we'll only play 5 or 6 seconds. So the reference image is on the left, and then here is Rap God on the right. Anyway, so the AI basically takes control of the picture, puts the lyrics in the picture's mouth, and plays audio, different things like that. But they also have upscale to 4K, which is a big deal for those AI video generated models. Let's see, prompt marketplace. So this is one that I found. So this is findgptprompts.com. They basically have all of their prompts labeled by individual product or genre. So marketing, operating system, SAS, SEO, different things like that. So you can go here, you can jump in and look at prompts, and they kind of walk you through how to create some of these GPTs. You can either use them straight from here or take the instructions and plug it into ChatGPT. So there are plenty of marketplaces like this. Obviously, ChatGPT has their own marketplace where you can go in and find some of those, but we'll be picking some of these other places up as we go through and share these with you. Hurdly, this is a big one. Obviously, this is shown up in multiple places. I got multiple emails about it. And it is a for-profit company. They basically take a book and sum it down into 15 minutes, and it can be read to you. So you're learning before, after, and while you're listening to the book. Reminds me a little bit of Blinkist. Blinkist has real people reading the books, as far as I'm aware. And Hurdly actually is taking AI to the next level, where AI will be reading these, and you can read biographies. They have all types of books on there, and I am assuming they're going to be growing to a certain point, either get bought out by somebody else or um, uh, uh, grow in their own company. You can see here that they have apps on both Apple and Android, and so you could scan both of those. Again, I don't get any referral bonus. These are things that we've just found coming through. So the next one is more of a training, internal training or external training on how to do things within a company, processes, different things like that. So this is called Guide with 2 Ds. You basically create a video, and the GPT will power it on the back end and give the instructions. So you can generate a video once and then show it to whoever you need to, whether it shows up on your website. You can see all those different places that you can share it with. And so you can do training material, onboarding documents, onboarding processes, frequently asked questions. And so it is a free extension. And I'm assuming that there is a freemium version of this. If we go to pricing, you can see here, you're going to get a free model, then you're going to get a pro, then you're going to get a business model. And it's 35 users per month. And so you can build that annual or monthly. So there's that. This one I really, really like. Reminds me of Whimsical a little bit, where we take the text, images, and different things, and we create a mind map through chatting and through prompts and different things like that. And so as we go through, just walking you through this, I'm just going to play the short video, and you can kind of see the visual content through text. There's not a lot of audio, but we're building a landing page for note taking. And so we set up the environment, we create a landing page, and you see here that we have the text, the HTML, and then we get this kind of visual mind map of what's happening when we study different things. So we have quantum mechanics broken up into 4 parts. We have the problem, we have a solution, we have core features. This is a slide deck that has been put together. So there's a lot of just different visual models that mymap.ai uses, and you can kind of go through that way. So the next one is RapidBot. And so this is an omni-channel chatbot platform. Basically, you build the chatbot, and it's built through AI, and you answer questions. You can see here, I'm going to play this video. And then once it's built, you can put it anywhere. You can put it on your website, Google Business Messenger, Voice, Viber, WeChat, Slack, Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger. So you can put this chatbot pretty much anywhere. I was hoping that there was going to be some sort of WordPress integration. I know that there's a couple out there that I've seen, but you can also get more out of the tools that you already use. And so let me just show you what this looks like here as we play this. So the centralized inbox and the live chat and the video builder, I think, are one of the coolest tools of this product. And so there is that there. And then another one I found is searchalchemy.com. This is basically another AI tool for keyword research. So if you're in any sort of space that uses keyword tools like we are, you can type the topic in here. It will give you, you can search by domain, but it'll give you ideas and keywords. There is a paid version for this. And so if I just type in AI news, and we generate that, it's going to pull up relevant keywords. It's going to categorize them into relevant topics. It'll analyze the keyword metrics, and then it'll discover domain rankings. Now, I might not be necessarily looking for domain rankings because I'm not searching a specific domain. So the plans start at $15 a month. Search volume, 4,780. It's going to basically give me AI research papers, AI news, and it will pull up, the search volume that I then have the ability to rank this, right, by keyword. So if we were to organize that, it would show me the keywords, financial AI updates, banking updates, and you can see that there's thousands of results, hundreds actually, if I'm going through. So we unlock them with Pro for the estimated traffic. This basically takes a look at AI news, and the AI breaks down all of the information. And so, AI news website, there's 140 searches a month. AI news in business, 390 searches a month. That's probably a low search volume, but if you're looking at long tail keywords, this is something that you could pull out to get some of those results every single month, where you are getting, maybe even a half or a quarter of that traffic. That's 100 visitors a month on an article that you're talking about AI news in business. And the big daddy of them all, right, was the Google. Gemini, and so I don't have that pulled up. Google Genie, and I had the article, but I might have closed it. So we actually did a video on this, so I won't spend a ton of time on the information. There's a ton of videos out there. There's Google sites already dedicated to it. And essentially, it allows you to communicate and create video games from real world backgrounds, real world information, and different things like that. You can go ahead and watch our video where we break down the Google Genie, and that'll be probably up on the right of this video. See you next week. Thank you for liking and subscribing to the AI Glitch.